Friday, if you have a job outside of your home, or maybe even if you work for someone in your home or whatever, you may be saying it's Friday. I've heard people say that many times. And that's what I want to talk about today. Is your day job draining you? I mean, be honest. I've been there. 2.5 years ago, I was still working for someone else. And um, even though I loved what I was doing and I was good at it, I liked what I did. The job absolutely drained me. I was fired from that job. I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed at all. I didn't have an exit strategy when I was fired, but I never went back to work for anyone else. I determined that I was not going to put myself in a position to give everything I had to someone and then to be exhausted every day, to not have any family time. My family suffered, I suffered, my faith suffered, everything suffered. And this really came to mind to me the other day when I had a friend comment on social media. Just the word was just stress, was just constantly. I mean, it was just stress, 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 stress. And I'm like, oh, and not really thinking about what I was doing, I commented, you need to find another job. And I saw a few minutes later, a little bit later, that they had responded. And then when I went to, see if I needed to respond back, the whole post was gone. And I understand, I probably shouldn't have commented that on there, but I really feel for this person. I feel for everybody who's in a job like that. I understand their job. I know why it's stressful. And I can tell you this, if you're working for someone else, or even if you have your own business and it doesn't line up with who you are and your purpose, you're really going to struggle. And your life is, I don't care how good everything else is, it's going to start to suffer because of that job. I can tell you in my own life, the day I was fired, I had someone call me that evening and they said, you sound 10 years younger. So in about 8 hours from that morning to that evening, I had that much weight lifted off of me. I had no idea at all. We should not allow jobs to drain us like that. We just shouldn't. It's not right. If you're in a position that drains you like that, that pile stress on you, even if it's not every day, if it's once a week, if it's a couple of times a week, 2 or 3 times a month, you need to start an exit strategy. You need to start looking for what you're going to do that's going to fulfill you, that's going to make you feel like you have worth. I mean, I never knew when I worked there, I never knew what to expect every day. Even though I loved my team, I had built a great team there. I was leading a team that was just, to me, was just phenomenal. Yeah, every now and then I had some issues, but you're always going to when you're dealing with people. But I had a great team and they were working well together. And even though I had all that, and I had good pride, not like false puffed up pride, but I took pride in the team I had built. I took pride in what they did because they were good at what they did. But the job still drained me. It didn't matter how well they did and how well I did. The job was draining. It was a thankless job. Um, I stayed there for them. I stayed there for my team because I wanted to build them. My whole purpose there, I felt, was to build them into the women that they could be so that they could find something better for themselves. Because this was a low end, they actually had low end customer service jobs. And they were treated so badly by our customers, so poorly. And they didn't deserve that. But they took it in stride, they handled their job, and they did it well. But it was stressful for them. A lot of them are gone now. They're actually have moved into something else. But sometimes we follow the money. We find, and I did. I mean, I was paid well at that job. Didn't think I could do without it as far as financially, and we've done fine. But we follow the money instead of following our hearts. And if your job is draining you, I challenge you, follow your heart. Find yourself an exit strategy. Find something you can do. Make it worth it to spend a few hours a week doing something to build you a future that's going to fill your soul, fill your spirit, and fulfill your purpose. Because when you do that, life is, I can tell you, my life is so much better. I don't have the stressors. I have so much freedom in my life now. Michael's retired. That's made it even better. And I choose how much I work. And my business is determined by that. But I don't have someone who demands things of me that are not possible. I don't have someone that puts stress on me, undue stress. I just don't have that in my life anymore. And I encourage you, if that's what's going on, if you're so happy today's Friday because you can leave the job today and be gone for 2 days, which are just going to fly by. I'm just being honest. It's going to be Monday before you realize it, and you're going to be dreading. If you're crying on your way to work and griping all the way home, or griping when you hit the door, that's what I did. Michael and I would talk all the way home. I would have an earpiece in and we would talk as I drove home. And every day, bless his heart, and I don't mean that in a bad way. That's not a bad bless your heart. But I mean, he was so good and listened to every complaint I had. And I complained all the way home. But I didn't want to bring it into our home. If you're doing that, if you're complaining all the way home from work, if you're bringing it into the home, if you're getting up and your gut hurts, you hate getting ready, you push that snooze button 10 times because you don't want to get out of bed, you cry on the way to work, or you just experience any of these type of issues, start making yourself an exit strategy. If you're not in my Facebook group, The Unstoppable Woman Project, I have free training in there where you can learn your life purpose. You can learn how to set goals. We're going to be doing a confidence challenge come Monday where you can gain the confidence you need to do what you need to do in your life. Okay? I love you. Oh, the link to my group is in the description of this video. I love you. More importantly, God loves you. You have a blessed weekend. And please, 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 for your sake, if no one else's, if you hate what you're doing, if your job is draining you, if it's so stressful that you have to post on Facebook, stress, or you want to post it, but you can't, whatever. If your job is draining you like that, please start making yourself an exit strategy and find a job. It's okay to work out of the home if that's what you want to do. Find something that fulfills you and does not make you feel that way. You have a blessed weekend.